Record to this computer. We are going to do this like we do our monthly Looking Beyond, which is something that we do for members where we look 5 weeks out and we sort of tell you what books to read, why we like them, and also what we didn't like in the future, coming weeks, I should say.
Yeah, but this one is only books that we like.
This is only books that we like. And we're only going to talk about 2 per genre.
Yeah.
And we kind of stretch some of the genres so we can get a few more in. But we're only going to talk about 2 per genre. And then we're just going to send you an email afterwards with a link to the full list.
Yeah.
And there are other favorites too, but we each picked 1 per category we wanted
Which
to
was
really
kind of
talk about.
hard.
It was really
hard, especially for some of the categories. It was really
it was
hard.
very challenging.
Yeah.
Should we start with
Yes,
the
I
first
think so.
category is
Okay.
fiction?
Oh, I get to go.
You get to go
Great.
first.
I'm
Yep.
so excited. This book was one of my favorites of the year. It was completely unexpected. It is a road trip that is a comedy of errors, and there are some trigger warnings in here of alcoholism and suicide, which makes it sound like it's a heavier book, but it's actually not. It's handled in such a way that it was completely hilarious. There's this guy, he is an alcoholic. And he's very upset because his ex-wife and his best friend are getting married and they're going to Alaska. And so he decides that he's going to take a road trip. He's going to go find the girl that he first had a crush on all those years ago. And he has to go across the country, except for that he doesn't have his license because he had a DUI. So he has to get his daughter to drive him. And then he takes along some kids that now he is their guardian, and there's also a cat who can predict death. So all of these people are going in the car, and it should not work, and it comes together to be this heartwarming, hilarious.
Sierras?
Now, okay.
Okay, sorry.
Very man called Ove.
Okay,
Okay.
with the magical cat.
With a magical cat who can predict death. So,
But not really magical, but kind of.
but I mean, you can't go wrong.
Right.
Okay.
Mine.
I don't know why it's doing that.
Mine is The Family Recipe, which I absolutely loved. It is about, hold on, the Tron family.
Oh, you wrote it down.
I did. I wrote because I'm so
She's
bad at
gonna
names.
look bad because
I'm
I
so
can't
bad at
remember
names that I wrote it
I
down.
can't remember anybody's names and I didn't write it down. Oh boy. Sorry, everybody.
They came out in April, so I was like, I don't remember. Anyway, Duke has a sandwich shop. He is a Vietnamese man who has a sandwich shop, and they make banh mi. And I'm going to start by saying, if you've never had a banh mi, which I hadn't while reading this book, I immediately had to have one. And then I had one 3 days later. And then I had one when I finished the book. Like, I was craving it because the sandwich is really central to the story. But he is retiring and his kids want their inheritance. And so he has the 5 most dilapidated stores and he gives one to each of his children. And basically, they have to fight to kind of win their inheritance. It's a multi-narrator story. It's great on audio. It is totally a beach read. It is totally a family recipe. Felicia read it because she's a member and we talked about it before, and she gave it 5 stars. And we love Felicia. So it really is a wonderful one. Just know that you are going to need a sandwich while eating it.
This is my list.
It's
like
so
a
good.
problem because there's so many
good
books on this list, and I don't know.
This one is high on mine because it's just so different. Oh, and she's the same author who wrote Fortunes of Jaded Women.
Okay, awesome. All right.
These are some of the other fun fiction books that you will find on the list. And that's all we're going to say.
And if you come back after July 4th, there will be like the last update.
And we will give you in the email with this video recap, we're going to send you this slide deck, and all of these are clickable links. Go and find everything pretty easily.
Yeah, perfect. Okay.
That's you.
Yeah.
I'm reading it right now. I started it.
Do you love it?
Well, I'm terrified of space. So this is like, honestly, it's a little bit scary for me. It feels like a thriller to me, but it's not.
It actually is. So it starts off and there's been like an accident in space, right? And then it goes back in time and you see the women being admitted to the space program for the first time. And then it kind of goes back and forth between what's happening in space and kind of how we got there. And I mean, it's women in the workplace, women in STEM, like all the things that they had to deal with, which
Gina's reading it now too, and Shanta loves it. So
this was
5 stars.
really Taylor Jenkins Reid at her best. I would
If movies like Apollo 13 and what's that other one? Liv
Martian?
Tyler, they're
Oh.
singing
I don't know.
come on,
The
just
Tyler
to
singing?
hear you breathe it. Come on, what is this?
I don't know what you
What is this movie? Okay, the other movie about space. Armageddon, that's the one. Gina coming in clutch. Armageddon.
God.
If those movies
Yay,
scare you,
Gina,
you
thank
maybe don't
you.
want to read this because it is
It's
the
good, but
space
it's
part is a little
actually
scary for me.
yeah, it's like LGBTQ rights, women in the workplace. It's fantastic. I would put this maybe like, I think this is number 3 because Daisy Jones and Evelyn Hugo are like so high up there, but like this to me is like
Cream of the crop.
like cream of the crop.
Okay.
Taylor Jenkins Reid at her best. TJR. Where we go.
Love
okay.
her. Oh my God, this book. Okay, this is a unique one. I don't feel like a lot of people are going to have this one on their radar. The Library of Lost Dollhouses is a dual timeline about a woman who in the present day is a librarian. Her name is Tildy, because I wrote it down. And she finds these
So nice of you to warn me to do that.
beautiful doll houses locked in a room in the library. And we're talking not like Barbie doll houses, like absolutely gorgeous miniatures.
Like the one at Main Point Books.
Yes, like the one at Main Point Books locally. And she starts to research who made these doll houses. It turns out it's someone named Cora. We get her plotline too in Belle Epoque, Paris, in World War I, England. She works at the Disney studio.
So many books.
There is a romantic element in both timelines. I read it on a plane home from spring break and I could not put it down. It was absolutely delightful, wonderful. Loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. Best of the year. Like my favorite historical fiction of the year so far, I think.
Right. There's no way that I can read this.
This is the best of the best.
I know. Because I started off in a reading slump and now it's been getting much better. But these are some of the other ones. Yeah.
Yep.
Story She Left Behind. I'm obsessed with that book.
The Book Club for Troublesome.
Yeah.
Oh, they're just all
yeah,
so
they're
good.
all.
And Austin at Sea is on my list.
It's
Because
really,
it's set on a boat.
yeah. I mean, how could you
So,
not?
I
Okay.
love it.
This you.
Okay,
Except
summer.
for that, it's going to be both of us.
It is going to be both of us. The summer we ran, there's going to be a little bit more information at the end, but we are going to do a free book club discussion this summer, and it's going to be about this book. So anyone can register for this, and you can kind of experience what it's like to be in the member book club. But the summer we ran is very interesting because it is about 2 people, Tess and Grant, who are running for the governor position in Virginia. She is the Democrat, he is the Republican. They have obviously very different political viewpoints around things like abortion, women's rights, all sorts of things. But it turns out if you peel back, it's a dual timeline. Back in 1996, they were each other's first love, and stuff that happened in that summer is impacting their campaign today. And there's plenty to talk about. It handles this political narrative very respectfully, and it sort of presents both sides as clear cut. Nobody's like out there crazy. We're not talking right wing, left wing. We're talking moderate.
Right. And it's part of the story. It's not a book about politics.
It's not. They're running for office and they have differing feelings, but it's really about their relationship and how first love can impact the rest of your life. It is great, and I cannot wait to discuss it with her. Everyone who's reading it has said that it is really exciting. It's actually a book of the month club pick right now too. So
I'm
I'm excited to talk to Audrey about that.
Okay, One
Such a
Golden
good
Summer.
choice.
This is so good.
Such a good
We both read this. It is so good. This is a sequel to her first book, which was Every Summer After, but you can read them in any order. So you do not have to have read
That's true.
Every Summer After in order to read this. I personally, well, I mean, I already did, which feels like I even enjoy this even more. But I feel like if you did it the other way around, then you would read this one and then you'd love Every Summer After even more.
Yes,
So
absolutely. Agreed.
it's
The butterflies.
Oh,
The
it's so good.
butterflies.
It's about like summer love, like finding yourself. Like so she is at her family cabin
Hmm.
and she brings her grandmother up there and she had been there the last time like a really long time ago where she had taken a picture, which is kind of the picture that's on the front of the cover with her camera and always had wanted to be like friends with like the people that were on the boat. And then she slowly gets to know them, and it's a
Hmm.
love story, and it just
And it's Charlie from the first book,
Charlie
the
from the Woods.
brother.
Yeah.
If you liked what's the show? It's big, it's coming back. Come on. It's about teens, but it's guys, I am really struggling here. The summer she turned pretty. The summer I turned pretty. If you
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
like caught between that was the first book, Every Summer After, and then this is
Yeah.
the other brother's story in One Golden Summer.
And it's like
Wraps up so
beautiful and it's
beautiful.
emotional and
And you get to touch base with the people from the first
yeah,
book, and
yeah,
it's great. It's a great one.
yeah.
Also love this one. Oh, she finished it today and loved it.
Oh, yay.
Love
Yay.
it.
I love this. Okay.
These are other fun ones.
I know. They're all so
I almost
good.
talked about the Martha's Vineyard Beach and Book Club.
Right, and I
So
couldn't
cute.
decide between Songs of Summer and Beach House Rules. So,
Summer fiction is
I mean,
really
you can't go wrong with any of the
it's
summer
great.
fiction. Oh,
Who
okay.
wants it?
So I apologize if I'm repeating myself because I spoke about this one yesterday. This is Ashley Poston writes the best magical romances, but it's not so out of this world that I would consider it like the romantasy. It's really a romance with like a tiny little touch of magic. And in this case, Joni and Sasha have a magical connection with each other. They're both hearing the same song. That's like an earworm, and they can hear each other. And so they figure out that they basically have to come together and write the song in order to get it out of their head. And it's an enemies to lovers romance, but it's just such a sweet story and it goes a little deeper and
Someday I will read an Ashley Poston book.
I know you
Someday.
you would
Someday.
love
I love her
so
covers. They're
good.
so pretty.
They're so good. Okay.
What is mine?
Oh, that's
Swept Away. I love
and we
this
didn't get to
one.
talk about this one yet.
No, I have not. This is a new one for members. I have not recommended this one live yet. This story is about Zeke and Lexi, who, after a one night stand, now it is sweet because we're not talking, you're not really seeing anything. It's closed door, so to speak.
Yeah, like same with the other one. We like talk about sweet, but they're romances. These are not clean
They're not clean.
romances.
They're
They're sweet. So there's when we say sweet, we're saying like there's no body parts.
Yeah, yeah. So they have a one night stand. He has just purchased this houseboat, and she thinks that she's staying on her friend's houseboat. And they end up having this one night stand, and they wake up and they are adrift at sea with a motor that doesn't work and radio that doesn't work. And they
Man.
are trying to survive and get back to land, which is crazy.
Like this is like a one bed situation taken to like the
And
next level.
yes. Like all of a sudden they're
Like
in
the
a
one metro,
relationship.
yeah.
And there are some secrets that are revealed at the end that I'm not going to tell you, but I just loved this one. And it's survivalist, which is weird because I'm not afraid of the sea. But if this same plot was set in space, I would have lost it and had to put it away. So I don't know. It's charming. It's delightful. I loved it. Survival at sea.
What about if it was survival in a submarine?
Absolutely not.
Okay, there we go.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. But this, I'm good.
Right. So you just need to be able to breathe independently.
Yeah, I don't know. I trust the ocean more than I trust the sky.
I don't trust being
know.
under the ocean.
No, that's
I
true
do not trust being under
That's
the
true,
ocean,
too.
and I don't trust being where I can't breathe my own oxygen.
Well, that's true
I
too.
don't-
That's
yeah.
true. But this is great, especially if you are at the actual beach. Like this is a perfect read, but
Yeah.
maybe not if you're on a boat.
Okay. Although they survive, so
We do.
that's
I mean,
fine.
obviously it's a romance. It's going to have a happy ending,
Fine.
but
It's fine.
still.
Okay. And these. Okay.
There are some more on there too. I think I forgot to update the
Yeah.
slide. Sorry about that. Okay.
Oh, well, no, like some of them we're figuring out, like the last ones that are going to make the final cut for July
Right.
4th.
So
So,
we do the final list right before July 4th weekend.
yeah,
And some things may shift around a little
yeah,
bit.
which is
but
why
yeah, But these, what we're talking about tonight, are definitely,
all
they're
on.
staying on there. Yeah.
Yes, 100%. Okay. Oh, this is so good.
I've never read an
And
Allie
she's
Hazelwood either. I know. I know. But this is spicy.
This,
I know
she's
that she's
spicy.
spicy.
She is like seriously spicy, but I loved this one. I was like ranking them, and this is also one of my top. And I think she's written
Is
like
this
9.
Kim?
They're all STEM. Yeah, they're
Oh, okay.
STEM romances, and I didn't even put it in there. This is a STEM romance set in Italy. Love it. It's an age gap romance. There's like a 15-year difference between them.
Okay.
And the guy in this situation, I'm pretty sure his name's Connor. That would be amazing if I actually remembered that, is kind of against it just because he is older. And I like the way that she did it because it was very clear that there was like no power discrepancy here, right? So it wasn't like someone taking advantage, someone using their power. Like it was very obvious that this was like a very consensual, like relationship. And because of that, like I didn't feel uncomfortable. I loved it. I thought that the characters kind of complemented each other well, and it was set in Italy, and
That might be the thing that finally
I
gets me to
mean,
read an Allie Hazelwood. I
and
do love my Italian romances.
and it was just like a great page turning, like easy to read, fun romance.
Love it. Love it. Okay, this guy is spicy, but it's also sad. This was a 5-star romance, which I don't ever give 5 stars to romances, particularly spicy
You give
ones.
5 stars to romances that make you cry.
I
What's
do.
that other one? I can't say
That's
that.
this.
No, no,
That's not this.
There was like another one.
Oh, the December one.
Yes, the December, right.
So whatever the Emily Stone was, I did give 5
Right,
stars.
he gives
to that
5
one.
stars to sad romances,
I guess I do.
which is an
I don't know the
oxymoron.
pattern.
It's an oxymoron, a sad romance.
Yeah. Oh, that makes me sad. Okay, well, Lenny, our female protagonist, is
She did write that down.
I did write it down.
Because it's here too.
But she is Ainsley's nanny, and she is suffering from the recent loss of her best friend. And it's like her best friend's sister kind of relationship. They lived together. They like finished each other's sentences. I was almost going to say sandwiches, but I didn't. And so
Yeah,
she
always
is
in December.
always
Thank
in
you.
December.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's the one. She is just totally adrift. And so she is a nanny. And she meets this.
And also
I
gave
gave it 5 stars.
stars.
Right. It's so good. And she meets the child she's working for, the uncle. His name is Miles, and they have a very stilted relationship. And he has decided, like, look, I will help you get over your grief because he's gotten over his grief if you in turn will help me develop a relationship with Ainsley. And it is a slow burn until it is like lit aflame. You are cheering for them because they are building a friendship, they are building respect, they are so like just taking care of each other. And then it just
There's another one.
I love it. It's so good. It's so good. This would have been one of my first 5 stars of the year.
And I'm just going to be sitting there with like a book in my ear for like the next 2 weeks straight.
Yeah, this one was a really, really good one. Loved it. And it's beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful.
I've heard of nothing but good things
things
about
for
this one. Yeah. Okay.
And
these are also good.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you both thrillers?
I am
think
both
you're
thrillers.
Okay.
I am both thrillers, and you are
Both
mysteries.
mysteries, yeah.
Because for whatever reason this year, I have been the only one that's read a good thriller.
I read some great thrillers. I read
like the Riley Sager. Right.
Is set in the middle of winter.
Right.
I put like a winter train ride on beach reads.
No.
That just felt so wrong.
No, but I can put a safari-based story on beach reads, and this one is a great one. So we're in an African resort, and this older mother, her name is Odella, is going to marry a dude. His name is kind of not important. I mean, it is important. He's one of the characters, but she ends up dead. And she's there with her adult children, some of whom have kids. They're all sort of like figuring out their relationship with their mom and what this new marriage is going to mean. She has 3 kids. They all have a reason to kind of hate her and potentially want to kill her. And so do some of the people that are working at this safari resort that they are at. And so each person is narrating it. And each of them is sort of like laying out why they don't like her, but also why they couldn't have killed her. And so you're not really sure who the murderer is the entire time, but there's also some other things afoot. And to say that I was shocked by the ending, absolutely floored. It's a great one on audio because it is a full cast
I love
narration.
full cast
So if you are
narration.
looking to
I
listen,
feel like
this is the
so many more books are full cast narration now.
they
And,
are.
and it's so
It's
wonderful
immersive.
to listen
It's
to
immersive.
because
Yes.
you just you know who's speaking, you
Yep.
know what's going on.
Yep.
You don't have to like figure out now like who's narrating or
Yep.
yeah,
No, but this was delightful.
awesome.
My first 5-star of the year, and this is my second 5-star of the year. This will surprise no one that this
We're
is
talking about a thriller.
my second
Yeah.
5-star thriller. Right. This will surprise no one
Nobody.
because I think Joe Piazza can do no wrong. This one is
I'll
about-
obviously be reading this one soon.
Yes, Bex and Lexi were best friends in college, but they had some crazy falling out, and Lizzie, I'm sorry, doesn't understand why Bex kind of like dropped her, but she kind of ghosted her for 15 years, and then she has recreated herself, Bex, as a trad wife with a ranch. It's very ballerina farm, if you're familiar. She has a ranch. She has a husband.
Nearly made me spit out.
She's got a brood of children, all the people, and she has a scoop, and she reaches out to Lizzie and she's like, I will give you a scoop. Lizzie's a journalist. If you come out to the Mom Bomb conference and come watch my big announcement, you can do a profile on me. The Mom Bomb conference, the way I learned about influencing.
Is this a real thing?
No, there probably are mommy influencer conferences,
Okay.
but this was sort of, I mean, the thing about Jo is she can make fun of something while also examining it like a serious social commentary about it. And so you're examining like what it is to be a mommy influencer, what the impact is on the mommy influencer and their family, but also what these sort of like fake narratives are to the world. So you have all of that element that you're discussing. But then on top of it, Bex goes missing. Her husband is murdered and her children are missing too. And Lizzie is the last person she had contact with and she's trying to solve the case. And so you've got this very scary thriller component. And there are parts where I was like, I need to finish this chapter because I'm sweating to death.
Not my schedule, even more. Yeah.
But it's one of a kind. I've never read a book like it. It's so exciting. And yes, if you love the Sicilian Inheritance, this is sort of, it's very different. She can write across anything.
And we're going to be doing an event with her.
Live if you're local on July 23rd. Not live, in person.
In person on July 23rd, and there's going to be fun stuff.
Yeah, like a Trad Wives costume
contest. So
yeah. That's
I have to get something.
Hi, you could wear what you're wearing.
No,
I have a milkmaid dress.
You totally do. I feel like
I'm ready. I know what I'm wearing.
Puffy sleeves.
You do need a puffy.
I need something with puffy sleeves.
And
then it will be my like Anna Green Gables moment.
Yes, I'm thinking about doing a floral crown. I mean, I'm really gonna go. I'm gonna cosplay my way into this conference.
Okay,
I can't wait. I'm very.
You're gonna help me, and that's gonna be fun. And I just nearly tried to.
See, I took the keyboard away.
I'm trying.
Oh, I did something with the keyboard.
Oh no, she did something. What did she do?
I don't know.
I hope no one. Okay.
Okay. Anyway, I love it. It was
Okay.
very unique. These were also all great too.
Yours.
They're all mine.
All yours. I read some,
and they're all set either like at a beach or at a party.
I read some good thrillers, but
no, these are all mine.
Right.
But it's funny because the mystery that we're about to get to it, they're all yours. So go right.
Here we go. Okay. Well, you're
gonna people like Jo.
Oh, so we love Bianca. She's another one that can write anything. So her first books were historical fiction set in 1976 South Africa.
Yep.
And a little while later, and then
she wrote a thriller that she didn't publish, but we got to read.
It was the
best thriller. Best thriller.
And
I wish we could bring that back.
Then she wrote The Witches of Moonshine Manor, which was fantastic. And now she's written this.
That was fantasy, and now we've got a mystery.
A mystery that does have a fantasy component.
Okay.
So people should be aware that there's a fantasy component. And it was introduced at the very beginning, and it was really interesting because I was looking at some other people's reviews, and they're like, the fantasy came out of nowhere. I'm like, no, actually it didn't.
But why is it a special mystery?
So the reason why this is awesome is because it is a completely interactive mystery. where you get the clues, you solve the clues. They are in the book. You write the clues like in the book. I didn't write in the book. Um, and if you have trouble solving the clues, you can email the main character with the clue number. It says, like, if you're having trouble, email the character and she will email you back
Okay,
and give you
that's cool.
clues.
That's
And all the answers are obviously at the back of the book, but it's fun figuring out all these puzzles. I don't know how Bianca made these puzzles. Like, I just don't know how she is so brilliant to
Well,
make
we're gonna find out when we do
all these. Yes.
for this one.
And it's also a choose your own adventure. It's a choose your own adventure. There's everything in this, and it's like a cozy mystery, but a not so cozy mystery. And it was so much fun to read. I've never read a book like this.
I love it.
And you put this in here for me. Thank you so much. Okay, so I just finished this one today. I was like madly reading so that I could get it in because this is adorable. It's set in the 1960s. It is a mystery. It's a romance. It's like a cozy mystery. You put it all together.
I love them.
So the main character, Billy, I read it today, so I remember. She gets a letter in the mail addressed to Gertrude. Dear Gertrude, I love you so much. Give us another chance. And there's an engagement ring in there with like a giant diamond. And she's like, how did they get my address? I am not Gertrude. What is going on? I've never even heard of Gertrude.
Oh my goodness.
And the next thing she knows, she's been invited to a party at like one of the huge like mansions in Maine. And she goes, and who does she see there? Gertrude. Gertrude she's a character because she has a fiance. She's like cheating with someone else, like she's fighting with someone else. The next thing you know,
diva.
Gertrude is dead.
Dead divas.
Billy's the last person to see her alive.
Uh-oh.
And now we have no idea who did it. And the police kind of don't seem to really care.
Okay.
And they're telling her, like, stay in your own lane. And meanwhile, she's been like looking for something in her life because she lives with her grandparents. She's bored out of her mind. She works in like a seamstress's shop, and she's like obsessed with reading like epic romances and mysteries. So she takes it upon herself that she's going to solve the murder of who.
I think I need to read this.
Gertrude, and it's so cute. It's just so cute.
This sounds adorable.
So it was adorable. And then we have these.
Almost all of which are yours. Murder Takes a Vacation was my only murder mystery. But this is mine, and I loved it. This fantasy, I'm really into like a cozy situation right now. This is a cozy fantasy. It is.
I did it.
I want to read this so badly.
It is a standalone, but it's set in the same world as The Spell Shop, which was also written by Sarah Beth Durst. And essentially, there's like this woman who used to be a librarian was turned into a statue for making a plant talk, a cactus talk. And so there's a big revolution, and she is sent to this isolated island. She's brought back or reanimated or whatever this magical spell is, and she's now human again. And the only other person on this island who has released her is a gardener, and the whole island is covered with hundreds of magical greenhouses, and each greenhouse has something different. Singing roses, talking plants, oceans where you're like, she's swimming with sea turtles. Each room description was absolutely delightful. I wanted to like go and visit this world. Like if this was an amusement park,
I was gonna say,
I would
like
visit.
Reminds me of like, I don't know, like a Disney.
Like Alice in Wonderland.
Like
you remember when she's talking, like that is what this is.
Like Avatar.
Yeah, like yes. It is absolutely delightful. There's of course a romantic element to it because she's alone with Yarrow, the male gardener, and they fall in love.
It's not like,
and there's a flying cat. I mean, like what?
Like Igor. It's like a handsome.
It's a handsome Dudley gardener, but it is a clean-ish. Maybe it's not clean, but it's a sweet romance. There's like light kissing, I think, in this one. But it's an absolute delight. So that's my favorite fantasy.
And this is not a sweet romance.
It doesn't look like it from the
This is
cover.
not a sweet romance at all. So this is a fantasy that's like it is a romantic fantasy, but it's true fantasy. It's world building fantasy. It is if you love the dragon aspect of Fourth Wing, like this is for you. It's romantasy, but like I'm not sure you would love it.
Okay,
Okay,
fair.
but like
Like
I
a lot of mythical creatures and stuff.
well, so this princess is named Odessa. She is the oldest child of the king, but she has not been raised to basically do anything. Her younger sister, May, has been raised to be like she is going to be the sparrow, which basically means there's a king coming from another place. She is to marry like the prince so they can have a treaty
Okay.
because every few years, like massive monsters come and try and kill people and like destroy people. Okay.
Okay.
So they're going to have a treaty, except for that when the prince comes, the guardian, who is like his bodyguard kind of thing, is basically like, yeah, no, no, not her, that daughter. And they're like, what are you talking about? This is he's like, no, like I'm married, like the prince is going to marry.
So it's like an arranged marriage,
It was
romantic.
total arranged marriage,
Mm.
except for that they switched. Now all of a sudden that she was like raised to like do nothing, and they're like, you're going across the water, and it's like deadly, and there's like things in the water, and your sister was trained as a spy and to use weapons her entire life, but like now it's going to be you, and you need to spy. You need to figure out where their city is. You need to send information back, and if you don't succeed, like everyone is going to die, and it's going to all be your fault.
Oh,
And
it sounds kind of dark.
yeah, except for that she kind of like comes into herself and stops being such a like a damsel in distress, and then she's starts to have feelings, and then there's like where are her alliances? So
First of a series.
yeah, it better be. There's no information about the next one, and it like
Okay.
ended like on a cliffhanger.
But
So,
Amazon's turning it into a movie.
yes,
So I'll probably watch the movie. Maybe I'll do that. I won't read it. I'll watch
I
it.
think it will be an amazing movie, like fast moving,
Or a
like
series
amazing.
or whatever it's
Well,
gonna
since
be.
it's a feature film.
Oh, all right.
So like
then
2
movie.
hours, like that would be amazing. Like throw it all in there. And I think these
All
are
yours.
all mine. What a surprise. What a surprise. I'm done with reality and with
Guru.
real life, and I'm just reading epic fantasies. These are all Silver Elite and the Night Moth. They're all the beginning of like new series. So I'm gonna have like so much reading to do.
Over the years. Nonfiction, this is me, and I think actually all the nonfictions are me.
Sorry.
I am the nonfiction girl. You are the fantasy woman.
Can we tell what planet I'm living on?
I spoke a little bit about this in the offline portion of our chat yesterday, but I have to say that I finished it, and I've never read a nonfiction book like this before. So this is the Artie family, and they decided to buy an old mansion in Oyster Bay and renovate it. And I'm talking like dilapidated, like trees through the ceiling. It's it's an 11 bedroom, 9 bathroom. There was a hoarder situation. There were like plants. There was a water main break, like anything that could possibly have gone wrong with this house.
So they basically had to start again.
Yes, but restore all these
But like
beautiful
leaving
details.
everything in place.
But what
Got it.
makes it interesting, and there's photos, and you can go on Instagram and you can find, and trust me, I went down that rabbit hole, which is what took me, I was like, it took me a long time to read this book because I was like really deep into her images. But the whole other portion of this is that she looks into the history of the house. It's called the Chancellor's Mansion for a reason. There's a deep history, including the fact that the previous owners had slaves. And so she finds a graveyard on the property of people who enslaved other people, and yet they are a Black family who is renovating this mansion. And she looks into the history, and so you get the history of the family, of the area, of segregation and housing, and how it's all been set up throughout our country's history. And it was just unlike anything else. I was absolutely fascinated, and it sort of wavered, like you get one chapter on the home renovation and one on the history, and it was phenomenal.
That's so cool. How I did that.
As are these
is
books.
that
Yeah,
it?
that was it.
Okay.
I was only going to talk about one.
Right. And
YA, the
It's
final
another
section.
fantasy. I'm sorry.
We know what you're into right now.
Listen, I had like a tough,
I liked this one too, though.
I had a tough like
Yeah,
year like with
how they
reading.
broke it down
And
for
so
beyond the bookends. They did a young adult look.
so I feel like just sometimes I need to like step into the real, like the not real world.
Mhm.
And this is why fantasy is kind of like if the selection meets the Cruel Prince. This is an alternate history of England where the wars were ended because a fae ended all the wars, and now she has been the queen for 400 years, and she decides that now is the time that she's going to have basically like a the Bachelor,
You know, I read this and it's all coming back to me now.
ex-
Yep.
except
Yep.
for the Bachelor is her son who's Faye,
Mhm.
and the winner is going to like become, eventually like the
The new queen.
queen married to a Fae, and
The ending is
the
crazy.
ending is crazy.
Crazy.
Obviously, I was like, oh, look, a standalone. It's not a standalone. Lies. Lies, I tell you. So, there is a touch of romance, appropriate for 14 plus. I actually let my daughter, who's 12, read it, and it was fine for
Yeah,
her
yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah. That's
She
totally
she
appropriate.
doesn't like that, and so she would like tell me like, Mom, it wasn't appropriate, and she was like, No, it's totally fine.
No, it's
So
good.
anyway, adorable, great, so easy to read.
Mine is also a YA. There is also a romance in it. It is also appropriate for young children because I think there's like a kiss on the cheek kind of situation. This is about Jalen, and she is living in a neighborhood that is being gentrified. And her family, her parents met on the roller rink. She goes to the roller rink. I remember the roller rink in my area.
They
There is
still
not
have,
one around
there
here.
still are roller skating rinks. My
Where?
daughter went to, they're not like close around here. My daughter went to a roller skating party like a few weeks ago.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, like I spent my childhood, my brother
Yeah,
played
there's not like a
hockey.
ton near here. Like
There
they're
was
actually
one
New
near
Jersey.
Villanova where now First Watch and Bulldog are. There used
It's
to be a big thing
it's New Jersey, but like Cherry Hillish, New Jersey.
with
There's
like a disco light and
yeah,
everything.
yeah,
Well, that's
like
what this is.
full, and like people were like
Radnor
dancing.
Rolls. That's right, Radnor Rolls. So this was basically
No
a picture of
way.
Radnor Rolls. It was amazing. That's what
I
this was
didn't
set
live here
in.
then.
And the roller rink is purchased and it's going to become like a brew pub in this gentrified neighborhood. And so this girl, Jalen, is dealing with sort of the gentrification and what that causes with housing to people who have lived in the area. It's written entirely in verse. This is a Reese lit up pick. So she has been choosing people to mentor and then helps them write, which the Phoenix Pencil Company was a lit up pick as well. And this was one of her first authors. There is a little bit of a romantic element. There's like a best friend fighting. She's having her first crush. She's dealing with her mom and her dad and like their issues. Rent is rising. There's a lot of different sort of elements coming to play here, but the roller rink is at the center of the whole
Love that.
story. And it's a fast read, but it is so good. And everybody was into Radnor Rolls, and I am loving it. If you liked Radnor Rolls, read it. It's a quick
I
book.
didn't even live here then. I feel so
Well,
left out.
I mean, it was
Because I grew up
something.
in Toronto, there was no roller skating rinks near my house. Just FYI, it was all there's an ice skating rink on every corner, and I hate to be so stereotypical Canadian, but
Mhm.
yes, indeed, there is you cannot drive like more than 10 minutes
Wow.
without finding an ice skating rink. There were no roller skating
I
rinks.
never, fun fact, I used to spend all my time at the roller rink with my siblings. Never learned how to roller skate or rollerblade myself. I just would sit on the
Well,
side and read. I would read by the snack bar, and my siblings would all rollerblade
They
around,
didn't
roller
even
skate.
like the helper.
Well, I just didn't, like my little brothers were like skating, and I was like 6 years older. I'm like, I didn't want to be like the baby when they're like out there
That's
playing
funny.
hockey. And so I just
That's
thought it was
funny.
like
I love
the
that.
Radnor Rolls.
It's a little bit
Anyway,
hilarious. Okay.
look, another one. And then Jackie was an ice rink first. It was? Look at this fun
Oh,
fact.
see, there you go. Thank you very much.
There we
Make me feel
go.
validated.
Right.
See? And these
Other fun
other fun.
YA picks.
Sunrise on the Reaping is way better than Ballad of Songbird and Snakes. If anybody is like, yeah, I don't think I want to read Sunrise on the Reaping because Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes was terrible. This was probably the second best book in the entire series, I think.
After Catching Fire.
No, that's the first one.
Oh no, Catching
You
Fire.
like Catching Fire better?
Yeah,
Oh.
definitely.
And
Okay.
which is funny because we agree on all the Harry
Tropical
Potter.
locations. I know, but this one, the worst one being book 5.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Chamber of Secrets is the worst one. And then book 5.
Oh, book 5 is like the worst.
I
Oh,
couldn't,
I
like,
hate
teenage
Can we
parents.
just talk? Oh
Yeah,
God.
it's bad. But
Which is also, case in point, this is why I did not like Onyx Storm. Onyx Storm was like, and was Harry Potter book 5. It's the second one.
Yeah,
Iron Flame was
there's a
Harry
lot of,
Potter
like,
book 5.
whining
I was
and
like,
yep,
you're just being a
yep,
whiny baby. I like Harry
yep,
Potter.
yes,
Like enough.
Yes.
Yeah. Totally.
Okay, so that
Okay.
is all of them. I invite you guys, I'm going to send it when I send the link to this lovely video. I'm going to send the link to register for a book club. The way the book club works for the summer we ran, if you come on at 7:30, there's a discussion. We will have questions. I will send you a reading guide beforehand with characters to keep in mind, themes to think about, questions to think about. Then we all discuss it in a group. And then the author comes on at 8 o'clock and anyone can ask questions. We do a little interview with the author. She'll answer questions about the book.
And if
And
you
it is
feel
a
like
fun
you
time.
have some questions that you don't want to ask in front of the author, you can type them to us and we will ask
We will ask
questions
them
for
for
you.
you. So that is the free one. And then if you
so-
haven't heard already, we are hosting Claire Leslie Hall for our June book club pick on July 1st. And if you'd like to register for that, you have to be a member. Membership is $10 for the month. So if you wanted to just come to the Claire Leslie Hall, you could sign up and then cancel. That's totally doable. Or you can do an annual subscription where we're going to be talking about some really fun books.
And we should just answer the question. This is the June pick. So if you register in
Right.
June, even though we are doing it on July 1st,
Right.
if you register on July 1st, you will not get to do Claire Leslie Hall. You
will
have
get
to,
Catherine Newman's
yes,
sandwich.
sandwich. So you
Okay.
have to register for June, and that includes Broken Country.
Yes. Yes. So
If you have any
that,
questions, let us know. Some people are a little bit confused about that. So
yeah. So that's Ultimate Beach Reads. I'm going to stop the recording. And then if you guys have any questions, you can pop on and ask them.